Nancy Burke-Barr, Mentor Mama, coming to you from Las Vegas. I'm really excited today because I have a real treat for you. I'm here with Mike Klinger, and we're going to ask him some questions that hopefully you'll find interesting. So if you've been considering network marketing, if you've been considering working on marketing on the internet, what I want to ask Mike is, what do you think are the most important traits to have if you're considering getting into this game?
Personal traits?
Personal traits.
A dream, a vision that's so strong, you can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop feeling about it. You can't stop returning to it over and over again. Number two, the ability to focus. If you can't focus on what it's going to actually take to create a structure to manifest that dream, and it's just in Dreamville, it's not going to happen. And number three, connected to this, follow through, persistence, perseverance. You have to keep improving. You have to keep feeling excited and passionate about that dream and have that always be there, and doing things to remind yourself of it, connecting to it. Don't drift away and hang out with people that are on another wavelength all the time. That's going to take you off of it. Stay focused. Surround yourself with the things and the people that are going to keep you on track and feeling good about it, but also persistent, follow through, diligence on developing the structure. I call it a cash flow model. It's like your marketing funnel. Your actual marketing is going to attract people to you. It's going to bring in the sales and build the team out. You have to keep developing that structure. You have to follow through. So those three things: focus, persistence, and having a dream and having a vision that you're connected to.
Well, Mike, you mentioned that you should surround yourself with like-minded people. It's been my experience that the people that are closest to you are really the ones who don't support you.
Right.
How do you suggest handling that?
Well, that's a toughie. I mean, it depends. If it's your sister, your brother, a spouse, your children, it's going to be different, depending on which relationship it is. A person has to make that decision on who it is you're going to have spend less time with, and who it is you're going to spend no time with, depending on who they are. If they're, for example, a friend, it's going to be different than if it's your spouse, obviously. All I can say is, as you get more and more in touch with what you're trying to accomplish, those who support you the least should be the ones you spend the least amount of time with. Again, you've got to factor that in with spouse and make sometimes some difficult decisions. Or what you're going to find, though, is the people closest to you, typically, it may take a little while, but will start to gravitate towards you. That's what the advantage of being a leader and following through. You actually start to affect change in the people around you. So those that are close that you don't want to completely cut off from, you'll find will start to change the way they think by being in association with you. But again, I got to say, you got to make this decision on your own, obviously, with each individual relationship, but you do need to assess how much time you spend with somebody. If you're spending a week developing out your cash flow model in your business, or you're doing some serious stuff, maybe that's close the door or whatever you got to do if someone's close to you that's giving you bad. Set things up so that you're not being overly negatively influenced. You can design that. You got to be mindful of it. And I think that's the overall point I'm making. Be mindful of this, and don't just have stuff happening to you. You need to set things up so you can win, and this is a big piece of it.
Well, do you have a personal situation? You don't need to name names,
okay.
But any situation where you lost a friend or have kind of...
For sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I've had friends call me and want to connect with me this year, high school reunion. I had to assess this and decide, no, I don't need to go to the high school reunion. I didn't need to call that friend back. You don't have to do anything. There's 6 billion people in the world, and you cannot give your time to all of them. You have to be okay with this, and you have to be okay with the decisions you make. And sometimes you do make tough decisions.
How do you justify that kind of decision in terms of the traditional paradigm of, make new friends but keep the old, and,
Again, it's a decision you make. I mean, in my particular case, there are old friends that I do keep in touch with. I don't cut off from all of them just because they're not in, my mindset. It's just some are particularly negative or completely in so far a wavelength that just doesn't, it just doesn't work anymore. I have to make that decision. So all I can say is you have to be okay with it. Otherwise, understand, be mindful, be aware that it will be a cost, a major cost to you. And I think it's okay for it to be a cost sometimes to keep a relationship, but just be mindful and aware of this stuff.
And aware that it's a choice.
It's a choice. And sometimes you may need to make a difficult choice. It's up to you. Just know that if you keep hanging on to an old relationship that is a bit toxic, or that's going to have a cost.
We all have.
Be aware that is a cost.
Right.
And don't be afraid to make difficult decisions.
And so, because that drains some of your energy. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time with us. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Hugs, love.
And we'll see you.
Wave, guys. Wave. Bye. Okay.
This is Mentor Mama wrapping up Grill the Guru.